Sorry, I have a bit pollen allergy. Seems still not. What the? How do I need? I'm streaming and Safari is doing weird. That's not good. I'm streaming and Safari is being updating. Freaking, how do I now know actually if there is somebody actually? Sorry people, if there is somebody on my YouTube that actually is now watching me, sorry, that I did go away because I did not can see you because my computer was putting it off. But let me go for a little bit now. Yeah, I wear indeed. Something purple today on my hat. But I take a little bit of so I'm going to buy out some home for the Sims here. I think I'm going to build some 3 home. No. Well, only once to build, so exit. So what I'm gonna do is build a kind of forest. A little home in the middle of the forest. Because we need to have more trees on the planet. Because, you know, the meat eaters on this planet destroy the rainforest so much. So we need to have more plants. So this house must be tiny. At least not take too much space. So Because we know this planet have already too much houses that take absolute too much space up, but we can better use to make houses for animals that are called fortresses. So this house will be tiny, tiny house. Please not take too much space up. Hello, how are you doing? The animal liberation ninja. About which kind of topic do you want that I talk today? Or maybe you have some suggestions for some of my videos that I can make? Yeah, with me it goes actually well. I did work today on some videos. Actually, I did make work on some animal rights videos. One about one song actually. I did also talk with some friends from um, California today. How is quite interesting in a way. She can be my mother actually. If you look to the amount of years that's between me. Um, how did you? What did you do today? Vegan ninja. An animal liberation ninja. I mean. Did you free some animal? Did you free some animals today? Yeah. All right. All right. I was talking about making a tiny house because we are already have too many people's houses on the planet that are too big. That's nice. I make sometimes my own memes. Also use them in my videos. I often do kind of Q&A, or I play some video games on Sunday, and on other days, for example Monday around 6 Standard European time, I upload some pre-recorded videos where I talk about animal rights stuff, environmental stuff, sometimes philosophy stuff. I did do this week, I did do 2 videos about coronavirus. I understand. I have dyslexia, so I also don't type so very fast. I sometimes talk a little bit fast. Some people say. Um, yes, but like I did say, I usually do animal rights videos. I was just thinking about to make today just a little house, not too big. I think just 1 or 2 floors in a forest. That's what I was thinking about. Because people are so stuck in their houses, so I was thinking making a small house in the forest that exists basically are 2 floors. Um, how I am now, I think, yeah, I'm now 15 years vegan. Uh, the way I started actually to become vegan was actually because of a mother cow on a dairy farm that's in the village where I live. That's actually what it started with me. It helped me to actually watch from the animal's point of view, because veganism, like you probably know if I look at your name, if you use animals are not for us to take. Animals are with us, not for us. Um, Basically, since then I did actually learn over the years actually more about what happens to animals. Um, on the time that I started to become vegan, I was 12 years old. Yeah, animals don't exist for us, just like women don't exist for men to be exploited and be viewed as a sex toy. Just like blacks are exist for their own reason, they are not here to serve others. That kind of mindset, basically all it comes all in the same thing. One group thinking is more superior than another, and therefore believes he has the right to exploit it. This is already basically if you are stay logical consistent in the morals of many people, only there don't see it. Most people don't think that it is okay to abuse dogs. And I met in China for a Yulin festival. But for example, in Australia, you have a festival that is called Pigfest. And with Pigfest, I do basically the same thing. The only difference is that the one context is a pig and the other is yeah. And if we claim to be moral beings, then we should also be moral and consistent when it comes to other earthlings. If we claim that it is not okay to beat mentally handicapped people and push them in small cages, then the same should be true for our interaction with other animals. And I don't say that all animals are on the same level as children who are mentally um, weaker. But I say that some animals are probably smarter and some are probably less. But I think there are And it also depends on which kind of mentally handicapped. Some are. I'm 100% agree. Actually, with some people that say that there are actually basically like a potato sack. Trouble ones that are only sitting around and only can do. I've seen such people in those institutions. It's it is not can there reason. It is can there suffer, and is it being necessary? And honestly, it is not necessary to eat animals, so why should anybody make an excuse for it? Sorry, people, I was a child when I started to go vegan. My father was not so supportive of my decision. I did needed to actually prepare my meals largely myself. That's how I did learn to cook. I started with very simple stuff. For example, I started with rice and vegetables. That's what I started with. So I did actually get some. I did get actually some very simple food in the game. That's nice. But I don't know how old you are. But it sounds nice. How did it inspire you, or did you were inspired by the screams of the animals? And did you see actually direct the suffering, like Gary Yourofsky, for example, did go vegan, and and also in a certain way me, because I also did become vegan. My vegan journey started actually on the dairy farm of one of my classmates. Mm-hmm. He's a great, he's a great guy. He's a bit pessimistic sometimes, but he is. I think he's one of the most effective activists that are out there. I also think I also have heard that he maybe come back. I've seen that he did upload something new last on his YouTube channel about coronavirus. So there, I hope that he comes back with new content. I did do like I did say this week around three videos I did do about coronavirus. One is actually where I go into a bit more into zoonotic diseases in general a bit. Also, I did go in HIV. Also, I did go into the details of some other zoonotic diseases. You can check them out if you want later. You can. It's my friends from California. And I did also have some help of hers. She also did give me some links. For example, that coronavirus, that's cytokine storm, that's a fact that you can get from inflammation. Actually effective. I don't know if you know what a cytokine storm is. Cytokine storm is basically when your body makes too much white blood cells. And actually, what happens when you are in a cytokine storm is that your body get inflamed because of cytokines, and the cytokines are actually starting them. Actually give you inflammation, which actually results in that your body makes white blood cells, and it is basically an extremely strong immune reaction, what can give a lot of problems, for example heart problems, and also stroke-like effects. It can have a lot of different side effects. I did talk about that in my last video about coronavirus. This one on how it's called How Deadly is the Coronavirus. I have done some research about it. Are you also a member of the animal of one of those groups where they're actually going to the public and show their Earthlings and other documentaries and debate the public, for example Outreach or Anonymous for the Voiceless? Do you also that kind of work? Sorry if I talk too much. From which place in the world are you actually? Europe or US? I'm from Europe, by the way. Is Arizona vegan friendly? Or is it a bit like Texas? I'm not so familiar with large percent of the states, of the different states in the United States. I know, according to what I did here, is California one of the most vegan friendly places. That's how I did hear from my friend that lives in California. Quite close to the Sea of Cortex. That's nice. Close to me are not so many vegan restaurants. There are of course a lot of options. You can have been nearly everywhere vegan if you are just staying by the simple things. For example, beans, rice, potatoes, and that kind of stuff, or fruits. Most of the places in the world you can buy those things. Maybe some places are more expensive than all other places, but there's still, I think most of the world they are not more expensive than animal flesh. So I don't get why people think that veganism have to be expensive. Also, if you look to the medical bills that people can get from actually that dietary choice, if it like it being a choice to actually abusing other animals with your food choices. Since when is it a personal choice to take away the rights of other living beings? I just say. That's what those non-vegans always say. Oh, it's my personal choice to eat flesh. So pedophiles say, oh, it is my personal choice to molest children. We live in a free country, you know. Get a reality. As long as there is a victim in the scenario, it is not a justifiable choice. And if you call it a choice, I call it a violation. I think people should actually learn to think and learn to watch things from victims' point of views. In the years that I've been vegan, I've heard so many excuses, and I also have so many answers on that. I've also done some videos about logical fallacies. For example, the appeal to nature fallacy. Yeah, people say lions eat meat, and therefore they can eat animal flesh. But then they forget that there are claimed to be moral. Lions don't claim to be moral. People, you don't can have your cake and eat it too and then expect to have a cake. If you eat it, you have no cake anymore. By the way, have you any suggestions about what kind of videos you like to see that I make? I am a philosopher. I know a lot about philosophy, that's what I mean. I also know a lot about ecology. I am a vegan biocentric philosopher. Biocentrism means that you are watching actually all this all which we are living in we are all living in from the Earth's inhabited perspective. It is quite different from the anthropocentric point of view, which most people are trained to follow, which only focus on our well-being. Biocentric person can sometimes be considered misanthropic by some people because we don't watching the world from the same point of view as they are. Because of that, you get sometimes in funny situations with people. For example, with Paul Watson. Paul Watson of Sea Shepherds, Captain Paul Watson, he can fit in the biocentric way of life as well. He's often really actually mocked by a lot of anthropocentric people who don't like to hear that people are not the center of the universe, but that people are basically just naked ape out of control. That's what he did say. Paul Watson did say. We see ourselves as something like a divine God, but in reality we are just a bunch of naked apes out of control. Most people don't like that because there are anthropocentric people and their belief that there are more special than other earthlings. That's the reason people sometimes feel offended when you call them monkeys. But monkeys are quite funny, actually. I have no problem with people calling me a monkey. If people want to call me a monkey, people call me a monkey. I see it as a compliment. Serious. Let me be clear, people. People did get HIV from eating bushmeat, what existed out of more than 26 types of monkeys, also included primates. And that's how they get HIV. The monkeys did not get HIV from us. And the monkeys, we did get HIV from the monkeys because we were eating them. The monkeys did not get HIV from eating us. So we are the reason that HIV evolved and actually did get us. So don't blame the monkeys, blame the people. Yeah, Paul Watson is also a great activist, and also he is also one of my inspirations. He's very great. He's also vegan. I think he's a bit like a junk food vegan, but I know he's vegan. And not only plant-based, because I did hear also him sometimes talk about animal rights stuff, not only about environmental stuff. For example, with his idea that the minke whale should not be called after the killer minke, but actually be called the peanut whale because it have some pointed. Sorry, I will will show it a little bit what I mean. Okay. Yeah, I find it's where I was talking about it. The captain. Um, we are not living on the planet Earth, we are living on the planet Terra because the majority of the world is water, the ocean, and Terra means we are not living on the planet Terra, we live on the planet Mare because Mare means water, and Terra means Earth. The right wheel should be called the right wheel because it's is it a waiter's term, like Paul Watson says. It should be called the Paley whale, and mink is called after a Norwegian whaler, and so it's called the pink whale after the let me look if I can find it. Yeah. After the little pointy thing here, the pin. So I'm going to work further on my little house. I think I'm just making another floor. Or maybe I make a little home here. My job right now is actually to be an artist. I do also I also do on Twitch some art drawing right now I'm do anime style, and I also do artwork um, of people that you want to. If people pay me on their own by means of um, for actually for a little bit, then I will also do artwork of some artists that's or for some project. Then people can pay me then on PayPal. Only if people want. I do a lot of just any morning actually, just some work that I wanted to do. If people want to have something specific, and I need also to have money to do um, actually to live. So everybody needs to have a way to make some money in this time, by specifically art for some people because of the crisis. Are you still there, by the way, or are you did it go away? I know it is hard to tip on the mobile, and therefore you tip not so fast. And I talk a lot. Ooh, that's sad. The libraries are closing. Also, yeah, there are here also there are a lot of stuff is closing here. And actually also the supermarket are still open, but the movie theater is closed, and a lot of festivals are also not going to be this year. So for musicians, it is also quite hard to come around. The captain was all talking about that because a lot of money shisha have comes also from street artists. By the way, I see you later then if your battery or your data is up. I hope to see you next time. I'm on Sunday back. I'm also on Sunday, and I try to be consistent on that day. I start around 7 standard European time. If you are still there. That will be nice. I wish you a nice morning, I think it is now. I think it is morning there. So at least next week back. Also, I'm streaming next week around same time. I'm maybe also earlier this week also going to stream again. Maybe I'm going to stream also on next Friday, or maybe tomorrow if I have time. Depends on how much time I have. I'm also need to make a video about actually addressing some points and some hinderings, some distractions. That is called intersectional vegans, and some of their members tendency to harass anybody who don't worship on the altar of so-called humanity. And their unwillingness to see that we are all suck and that we only can try to suck less. Since we cannot be perfect, we should try to cause the least amount of harm. And that's always being vegan. If you have a less destructive form of meat eating, the vegan alternative is always more sustainable. A vegan living from fruits in the forest is more sustainable than a meat eater living from meat in the forest that he hunts. A gatherer is always more sustainable than a hunter. That's the reason there are far more herbivores than carnivores. Think about that, people. And that's why the Bosmer in the video games, the Elder Scrolls, don't make sense. Yeah, I did say it indeed. I did say the Bosmer in the Elder Scrolls games don't make sense. Because they have a green pact and they are respecting nature, and therefore they're eating only flesh, which is totally unsustainable. If there's some very big inconsistency in the Elder Scrolls games, it is the Bosmer, how the wood elves, the elves that lives in the forest, how claim to care about the environment, but hunt and eats primarily animals. You know, a lot of animals actually, yeah, a lot of animals in the wilderness are herbivores, for example, for the first and foremost. Around 78% of all the animals on the planet are herbivores. By the way, I have videos about all this, about the majority of the stuff I talk about. So if people want to check it out, you only need to look to the search bar in my channel. So if there I don't can find a video, I'm gladly making another video. Or something like that. If I have not a video about that yet. Hmm. Um. That will cost me a bit on my other channel. Hmm. So.
Hmm.
Right, yeah. I was thinking about making a small house, but it will be still a small house, specifically if you compare it to my usual houses that are stupidly big mansions. But that one I often do on my other channel. Make it smaller, then move around. Let's Of course, there needs to have some bit of privacy. Because maybe I will want to make this one as the bedroom. So this is my where it seems we'll get one little bed. I'm gonna do I don't know who wants to take a bath together. So maybe a little while here. I think there also needs some privacy. So what am I going to do next? Let me first put the bed. Yeah. able to use it. Alright. Now I'm going to put some doors. E1, L1, L1. That's it. Where can we put it? Maybe this bedroom is not a bedroom. It's not a bathroom. This one will be a toilet. The Sims also need to clean their hands, just like you, with coronavirus. So let them also. Oh, I see. And your white is also there now. How are you doing there? No. I will try to let it look like mushrooms a bit. The mushroom houses. No plants. I think this looks fine. Is there somebody else? Maybe some people that have questions about veganism? And please don't come up with trolls. If you have sincere questions about veganism, I think that would better. If I put no. Design can also look fine. I need to do the lower or here. Okay. I think I do. Do it this way. This is how I do it. One. By the way, people, say me if the house looked like a panda puddle. By the way, this neighborhood needs to have more trees. So after I finish this house, I think I'm gonna try if I can put more trees also in the neighborhood, because this will be tree town. Sims village with the most trees. All Sims games. This symbol also have a lot of gardening stuff. Options. Here. Orange, because it's sim will grow enough food to feed the world. I guess that's only possible when you grow plants, because vegans cost far less land than on animal body part consumers. By the way, if you wanted that I make a video actually breaking down why the postmarked elves in the Elder Scrolls series are one of the most ridiculous creations in the Elder Scrolls series. I can't do that. Because I think it's funny. I think you will find it funny. Why? Because first, they claim to care about nature. Hunting is totally unsustainable. Specifically, when you are also understand that one of the reasons actually people did started agriculture, animal agriculture, is because it is too time consuming to hunt actually. Hunting is very time consuming, people. Even extreme hunting supporters. You know, like people like how is that guy called from the US? Ted Bundy. I mean that's the redneck musician. Ted Nugent, yeah, that guy. He did even say that he himself did not hunt for flesh. He hunt for the thrill of the kill, the bloodshed of other. It is bloodlust and dominance. It is hatred and brutality. It is obscene and it shall be banned. The last one he did not say, but that's what I did say. Of course, the guy will not to say that. Of course. It will be also too hard. It will be causing too many heart attacks if hunters are starting to admit that they are sick in the head. There's too much shock of people that hunters are actually reflecting, that they can actually reflect on themselves instead of that they are narcissistic obsessed. By their own hubris. I'm a superior ape that walks on two legs. I deserve to eat animals. That's what I think. That's what I think. And they think that vegans are arrogant. When vegans don't force their opinions to others. Let's be honest, people. Let's be honest. People who eat meat therefore start being known to others. Vegans don't. Vegans are not the ones that force their opinions into others. Saying that the animal agriculture industry destroys the rainforest. Saying that the animal agriculture industry is the most brutal and most inhumane industry on the planet. Now, people, you maybe don't like that to hear, but that's true. The animal agriculture industry is the most inhumane industry on the planet. So you can whining about how vegans let you feel in confidence. Where you can evolve. Stop being a whiner. There's nothing tough about men that harm living beings that don't can defend themselves. Do we know what is harm? Do we know what's tough? Standing up against systematic oppression and going against what your mates say, and do what is right, no matter if your mates like it or not. That's how you create respect. Interesting. So more amazing. By the way, if there's somebody here right now, tell me if you have a pet or companion animal. I hope you, if you have one, that you did adopt it, not bite it, not buy it from them. Breeder. course, I was working on that. Um, yep, indeed. This room is yeah, already in sitting room. Yeah, Anya, there was some person called Vegan Animal Rights Ninja, but he was on his mobile phone and his data did run a bit out, so he's back next week or next time I am going live. That's what he did say. So I hope I see him back. Yeah. What should I use the bathroom? You guys can actually debate that in the comment section. I'm going to put some art. I think that's a nice place for it. Alright, guys. Let me. So, the first floor, we have a kitchen. Along with some books. Here, the oven is living room along with some guitar, some other stuff you can play with. And then the bedroom is here on top. Take a pee, come back. And this room offers still a function which you can decide what I should do with it. Next time. I also have a lot of trees. This house is more tree, I think. More tree than house. This one should be there. So I think I'm going to save and then I'm going to give some plants still water in my house. And after that I'm going to sleep. I hope you all did enjoy me building this house and all the plants around it. I hope people in real life also maybe are inspired by this stream and putting more plants in their garden, because we need to have more plants on this planet. We need to have more trees. People should stop burning down the rainforests, because most of the time, by proxy, of them consuming animal products and their secretions, animal body parts and their secretions. You know, according to the World Bank, one absolute non-vegan society, at least 91% of all the deforestation is because of animal agriculture. Of that, 75 to 80% is because of cattle ranching. So go vegan if you care about race. Okay.